Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just gone over to Bitcoin. Big of the CoinsKid crew. So I've been away for quite a while. A couple of months I've had off here because the kids have been off school. I've took some profit way back there. Like I said to you, always pay yourself, take a bit of profit. I did anticipate a major correction, to be honest with you. A bit of a boring time, bit of a pullback, and that's exactly what we've got. But right now that we are seeing a little bit of strength in some of the Bitcoin charts and some of these altcoin charts with weekly bullish divergence. I'll go through that with you in a moment. And a couple of altcoins that I've targeted right there for the CoinsKid crew. But equally with the DXY as well, I do think we need to see something in the DXY chart that, you know, pinpoints the top of this impulsive move, which is the last leg that I anticipate here for Bitcoin. Okay, so like I said to you, for those people who've been paying attention, I think Bitcoin's been an impulsive move. I think we've got 5 waves. We're nearing the completion. If not, we've completed wave 4 correction, a complex correction, and we've got this last leg left. And I think that we've got a lot of confidence with what's going on in the DXY. So I'm going to show you exactly that in a moment. But you know, I've been away. I've took some time out with the kids. They're off school, you know, for some holidays. Went to Germany, went to America. Absolutely amazing. You know, and just enjoying some of that profits basically. So right now, if we take a look at the DXY chart, I'm going to drop the Bitcoin chart in for you. Now we've been looking at this for a very long time. Okay. The Bitcoin is a purple line, obviously DXY, the index here, the strength of the dollar against the basket of currencies. Now we do have clues in the DXY, and this is why I've looked at it for so long. Like I said to you, it's a golden ticket. We've, you know, used it as intraday trades, 4 hour, 1 hour, daily, weekly, whatever. We do use it as confluence for my analysis, you know, go long, short, so on and so forth. But what we've got is a really important pivot point that's occurred recently. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. For the DXY, we went to the oversold territory down there. Now the last time we did that was way back there in August of 2020, and then previously we did it all the way down here in September of 2017. So for those people that have not been around for a very long time, you can see that the top of this bull run was just here for the Bitcoin price index. Okay, and with the confluence of the fact that what we've got here is a low and a lower in the index for the DXY, we've equally got a bullish divergence on the DXY. So we created this higher low on the RSI and the lower low in the index. So we created a monster bullish divergence. That was the end of the run. It was a massive signal: get out, take profit, run for the hills, or whatever. You know, because we've got a massive bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Remember, the more you zoom out, the more powerful these divergences are for the, you know, the DXY. So the dollar was actually showing strength in the index. So that was a major signal that, you know, we're entering a bear market here for Bitcoin. So we zoom forward a few years later, and you can clearly see on this pivot point here on the way down for the DXY, we did exactly the same on this top here. And for those people that have been paying attention, I do think that the April to May top in crypto was the top of a big impulsive move, and ever since then we was in this massive correction, and right now we're gearing up for this last leg of a new impulse basically. And this is something I've been looking at for many years with you. So I think we've got a confluence right now. We've got a key signal in the DXY that we are doing exactly what we did to the previous, just, you know, slightly prior to the top of the impulsive move. We're doing exactly what we've done before in the DXY. So if you take a look here, in August of 2020, when we was correcting, I remember all this correction for Bitcoin. It's horrible, it's heinous, people got shook out. You know, that's the end of the bull run, things like that. And then this monster move came really, really quickly for Bitcoin, and obviously the altcoins catch up, basically, alt season. So I'll be as far as I can, but what we've got here at the top of this particular impulsive move was the bullish divergence, the lower low in the index for the DXY and the higher low on the RSI. Major, major warning sign, get out of crypto. Just like this was, lower low, higher low, major warning sign, get out of crypto. So we may potentially be doing something just here for the DXY again. We've got oversold, and if we come up like this in the RSI and come back down over the next few months and make a higher low on the RSI, sorry, and a lower low in the index, we're doing exactly what we've done on this last leg as we've done here and as we've done here. So it's a major warning sign that I'm looking for in the DXY. Let me jump into the Bitcoin chart right now for you, but just to refresh your memory, what I'm looking for is confluence at the top, because like I said to you, I don't necessarily think that's the top because we didn't print the bullish divergence. I'm looking for the bullish divergence as confluence to the top of the impulsive move for Bitcoin on the DXY. So it's a little clue that I've got, you know, that I'm keeping an eye on the radar for the CoinsKid crew. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now to see what we can see. To take a look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, like I said to you, always zoom out. If in doubt, zoom out, and you get a broader picture of what's going on at the minute. You know, Bitcoin from the peak here in, I think it was March, wasn't it, when we flipped bearish on Bitcoin, we currently dipped to toe 33% and currently 20% down on Bitcoin. But the price action, the structure of the waves do actually give us a clue basically. So if we take a look at this particular correction, again coming back in a beautiful falling wedge which we traded, broke out to the top of the wedge, and then had the, you know, the 5-wave corrective move coming down there. On the daily there was a beautiful bump and run pattern that we identified, back test, beautiful, see you later. Now this particular move here, this did exactly what I thought it would do, to be honest with you. The wave 3, as anticipated, will come up and break that resistance and equally make a new all-time high, which is exactly what it did. Now the clue is in this price action here. What we've got is overlapping corrective waves for Bitcoin at the moment, possibly some kind of bull flag that's doing this, okay? So this can afford to zigzag all the way back, but as long as it doesn't start to lose structure, you know, and we see the big push to the downside and starts to come up and things like that, we still remain cautiously bullish here for Bitcoin for this last leg. Okay, so it's not bullshit, it's not hopium, it's simple technical analysis and data. I think we've got a lot of things stacking up right now in many charts. We've got weekly bullish divergence on many of these altcoins that I've took positions in, and equally, you know, we're not seeing the weekly bullish divergence, which has always signaled the top of an impulsive move, you know, basically for the DXY. So we've not got that, and this is one of the confluencing factors where I didn't think that this was the top of the impulsive move. This is just simply the top. You know, it's not the end game for Bitcoin, it's just the top of a potential wave 3. So it's been my, you know, theory for a very long time. We've got a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4, and right now we've got this last leg missing with the confluence of the bullish divergence on many altcoins on the weekly, and equally the, you know, the lack of the bullish divergence for the DXY. So I think if we start to see 5 waves up for Bitcoin, then, you know, it increases the probability that the bull runs over, and equally if we see the weekly bullish divergence for the DXY. So do pay attention, okay? I'll keep you updated as best I can. So far so good. I mean, on the weekly time frame, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We traded it like a boss, like I said to you in April 2023. I think we're coming for a correction. We did. It was a horrible correction, and then we identified a sweet spot just there. This wave I did anticipate to come up, be a third wave, break that resistance, which is a major low resistance, and we've talked about this for so many years. You know, once we come up, we will find resistance on this previous leg of support. It should be a third wave that breaks it. It was 1, 2, 3. And at this point, if we identify 5 waves coming up, and we had it with bearish divergence as well, which increased the probability that, you know, we would see a drawdown at that point. We've got a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a 5. At this point, I didn't anticipate a wave 4 correction. So the, you know, the complexity of this wave 4 correction at the moment is shaking a lot of people out. But I think we've got confidence in many of the charts that we do have this last leg missing. So, you know, one of the confluencing factors, really simple, is the stock market. The S&P 500 is continually making all-time highs. Okay, so that is one of the confluencing factors why at this point, when everyone gets super bearish, I was actually bullish because of the clues in other charts. So I remain cautiously bullish here for this last leg, but obviously it can all be invalidated. The minute it is, I will immediately alert you. But at the minute, you know, I just think we're missing this last wave. And when it comes and we see 5 waves up or whatever, I will flip really bearish, and people will be like, no way, you don't know what you're talking about, so on and so forth. But with the confluence of the DXY and many other, you know, things that we look at as well, I'll relay that message to you, and I think we'll find a little sweet spot potentially to take profit on the Bitcoin chart. So anyway, that's Bitcoin, and at the moment I think we've got a 1 into a 2 into a 3. We've got this complex wave 4, and right now we're missing this final 5th wave. This is why I do still remain, you know, my Bitcoin position, and I'm actually adding to my positions and buying these dips and buying bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. So what is the 2 altcoins that I've dipped into? Let me show you right now, okay? So the first coin I'm looking at, and I've added to my bags, is basically EWT, Energy Web Token. Now this particular coin was brought to my attention way back when, in 2020. I remember this coin. Basically, there's a guy called Chico Crypto. I don't know if any of you watch him. He's a fantastic guy, really deep, you know, analysis on crypto, the projects, and he's a fantastic guy. You can tell he really knows his stuff. Not necessarily technical analysis, which is what I focus on, but he really studies, you know, these projects. So I remember getting in way back down there at the floor, and I wrote this up and it was fantastic. But right now what we've got on the weekly time frame is a bullish divergence here on these key pivot points. Okay, so this is why at the moment, if you take a look, we've got that low way back there in October of last year, and right now we've made a new low on the weekly, but we've made a higher low on this pivot point on the RSI. So, you know, this to me is a bit of an opportunity. The weekly bullish divergence is always an opportunity. So I've added to my bags, and hopefully in time, you know, if we see the turnaround in Bitcoin and we start to, you know, reversal in the market right there, this altcoin should be a beautiful play to come up to at least $8.66, where we'll look potentially, you know, to flip my bag basically. So it's around about 489% move. So what's the other coin that I'm looking at right now? So I've actually bought some more fire here, because I think what we've got is potentially a reversal pattern emerging on the weekly time frame. We've got a support point there, and there as well, and we've got this major level of resistance. Okay, so possibly some kind of really tightening falling wedge. So usually, typically, the target is once you take out this resistance point, this trend line of resistance into the apex of compression, you do usually start to come back up. Okay, so that would be an important pivot point around about the $1.80, and obviously the target would be the top of the wedge around about $2.31. So I think there's a trade here. Okay, so again, if you are jumping into any long positions or spot positions, obviously the invalidation is where you've come from, because if we do start to break down below this pivot low way back there in August, and this invalidates this particular pattern, you can clearly see that. So the bullish scenario here is the fact that we've got this support and resistance that's coming down, compression, falling wedge, break the resistance, see you later. And equally to accompany that as a little clue is a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame for FIRO. Okay, so again, not bullshit open, just a simple little technical pattern that I've spotted for FIRO, that could be a pivot point, a true bottom. You've got a nice little wick of support right there as well. You come up into this resistance, which is this resistance here of this potential falling wedge. You're getting really, really tight and compressed with bullish divergence towards the apex. I've traded a lot of these over the years and relayed these patterns to you. So if this starts to break the trend line, back to see you later, it will start to come up, and it could be the clue that we are on the cusp of a major impulsive move here for the Bitcoin, and equally the forthcoming alt season, which is something I anticipate as well towards the end of every single impulsive move right there for Bitcoin. So I wish everyone the most luck, but going forward, obviously there's always the risk that I'm completely wrong. This is why you don't go in with life savings. You only invest what you can afford to lose, and I wish everyone the most luck for the potential forthcoming alt season, okay, and the big impulsive move towards the end of the year into the early next year right there. So I wish everyone the most luck. I'll be back soon with another update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.